Hey y'all, this is Tyler Blake with tylerblakeart.com again, and I'm doing a little bit of work to get to know my Arteza brush pens better. These are the brushes I got to replace my Copic markers while Copic is having some supply chain issues. So these have the flexible bristle tip, just like a real paintbrush, that I really like. That's my favorite kind of tip, and I always kind of wished that Copic would come out with a nib like that for their sketch markers, but I don't know if that would work well with alcohol ink or not, to be honest. Um, I will say that not all of this one has a really good tip. I can get like, let's see, can you zoom? No. Yes, you can. I'll zoom in a little bit more. Okay, so I'll do down here. Can you see that? Yeah. Okay, so I can get a very fine line with that, and of course, the more pressure you put down, the more the wider your line gets. So it's so much harder to do this with the camera running than it is. Here, let me, I know it's on screen, so I'm not going to worry about trying to watch the phone at the same time. Okay, so let's see, and I'll do this guy down here. Still on? Okay. Some of these, not all of these have the same quality of tip. I did have a couple that had like really forked tips that I just could not get to take a good point at all. But and I can still do washes with them, and actually, I know, I finished my pinup for the Australia Burns anthology, and I ended up using one of the ones with the very forked tip to do grass texture, and it worked great. So part of art is taking what you have and making it work for you and what you need. So let's see, still on camera? Good. Okay. So this one has an excellent tip. I like this one. This is cadmium orange, and this one I can get as fine lines with this one as I can with my Kuretake brush pen, and that's like my favorite pen for inking. So I'm going to zoom back out again now. I just wanted to, let's see if I can figure this out. Okay, so this fellow is a red-bearded vulture, and these guys actually dye their feathers red. Their diet consists exclusively of bone marrow. And when I first read that they dye their feathers, I thought it was blood, but I guess they actually use like the red oxide in the dirt, and they dye their feathers. So that makes this like the most metal bird in nature. And I had come across a really cool picture one when I was looking for some just art reference online. I thought, I have to do him. And I had drawn and inked this a while ago, and then I was like, this would be a perfect thing to try out my Artezas on. So right now I'm doing basically I'm using these basically dry. So if you want to get good detail, just pull the cap off and use them like you would an ink pen. And because it's water-based ink, so if I was to come back with, let's say, a lighter color, it would blend this out. And one way that these are different from traditional watercolors is that these stay workable for at least 12 hours after you've done it. With other watercolors that I've tried, like as soon as it dries, it's not going to blend more. But I can actually come back to this tomorrow and blend this out some more with some water brush or another marker. And the other thing I can do is I've got my water cup here that says "Art water, do not drink." And so I don't know if this will show up, but the tip lightens just a little bit, and so then that lightens the shade that's coming out of here, and then you can come through and do some washier effects. Now, the longer you do this, the more the pigment's going to creep back in, so maybe you need to come back and there we go. So that's quite a bit lighter. Blend that out. The longer you do it, the more the pigment is going to creep back in. So what I like to do is when I'm diluting it with water, I'll start in an area that's going to be light and work towards a darker area because it's naturally going to work that way anyways. So I'm going to put the cap on this. And the other thing that I got from Arteza at the same time that I ordered these was this new water brush. And I'm sure a lot of you all have seen water brushes before, so this just has water in it. In the past I had experimented with taking some cheap water brushes and putting like acrylic ink in them to try and make my own markers, and I got kind of okay results. I might play with that a little bit more with these, but these have this little section here that it's like a flexible silicone area that you squeeze to put more water out. And I really like the way these work. So you can kind of control the flow and blend this out. And I really like the way it works. So if anybody out there is looking for, something new to try, or maybe you're having problems with something you're using, and these are the first Arteza products I've tried. I might check out some of their markers. Like they have they have their own line of markers to compete with Copic that are, I'm sure, alcohol ink. And, they have their watercolor pencils and things like that. I might try some of those things out. I'm not sure. But right now, I just don't really feel like I need to, because these, I think, are going to work well for me. These are doing just fine. So, and I'm not an experienced watercolorist at all. So I'm sure this would probably bother like a watercolor purist. But I have a specific need, and this is filling that, so I'm like, okay, cool. So I'm gonna grab something real. You know what? I will just show. I've got my phone set up in a clamp right now, and I'm not gonna mess with it. So real soon I'll show the Australia Burns pinup that I did. So that's it for now. I'm gonna go ahead and cut this off, and I will finish this eye. He's not a zombie bird, although zombie presidents are coming. So if you have a hankering for zombies, stay tuned. And thanks for watching, and I will see y'all later. Bye.